by Paul McCartney and Wings is the climax of the World Week for Venice. It's never been heard of before. A rock group in the 12th century St. Mark's Square, normally sacred and sedate, echoing only with the sound of music associated with the Palm Court Orchestra. But Venice needs more money and more publicity, and UNESCO, while trying to save the past, are realistic enough to cash in on current fashions. For 2 days, the McCartneys and their 3 children had been holed up in the best suite in the best hotel in Venice. They were seeing no one. But on Friday, Paul and Linda and the other Wings emerged, grabbed themselves a gondola and faced the paparazzi.
The Beatles are still in the memory of everybody who likes this sort of music. So the normal thing was to look in that direction. And from the 4 Beatles, as much as I understand from this type of music, and I don't understand much, but my friends tell me, Paul McCartney and his group are at least the best. That's what they say. I hope that we shall be able to give Venice from this week, including this concert, and this concert will certainly bring the greatest amount of money, between $50,000 and $80,000, which is almost a symbolic sum, but it is important enough to let us repair the Basilica of St. Mark. There are billions needed for Venice. This unique, really marvelous city, of which not only each monument is a monument, but each house, each office is a monument, must be saved, not only for the world, but also for its people, for its population. There are hundreds of people leaving Venice every month, definitely. This should be stopped. Venice should not just be a museum, it should be a living city. And this is what UNESCO fights for, if I may say so.
Was there any particular reason why Venice, out of all the charity applications you must get?
No, we were coming to Europe anyway. We were going to do some gigs in Europe, and Mr. UNESCO rang up and he said, we're having this week, which is a festival, and we'd like you to sort of close the week with a big concert in aid of sinking Venice. So we said, okay.
£2 million worth of equipment goes up in St. Mark's Square. Ancient monuments come in handy for modern lighting effects. Saints can no longer preserve the city, but Wings might help. There are, however, technical problems. St. Mark's Square stands over a canal, and 75 tons worth of concert gear and scaffolding has to be used to help save Venice from sinking. The square groaned, creaked, and cracked, but the authorities had already decided that it was worth the risk. Paul McCartney has spent £30,000 of his own money getting his band and his trappings to Venice. Giant trucks carried the equipment, ancient barges carried the trucks. 2 hours before the concert, the McCartneys were smuggled into their dressing room, a section of the square's 800-year-old museum, all gilt and precious wall paintings. You are obviously the first band to play in a place like this. Have you ever played anywhere quite like it before?
No. Carnegie Hall? Not really like it, no. Speak Hall? No. Speak Hall, definitely not, no. No, we haven't actually. No, this is our first, with this lineup of the band, it's our first outdoors, so it should be fun. I'm not nervous, no.
Are you now happy, Linda? Have they stopped knocking you as a member of Wings? Have the knockers...
Not who's there? Yes, I'm happy with all that. It never bothered me too much, because in a way they were right. I was learning to play, I was learning to sing, and no one's very good when they start a thing. In fact, I'm still learning. But just so the people I'm around like me, I'm all right. If they started criticizing me, I'd stop them.
Tough, this girl, you know. Don't watch out, John.
No, I mean, people are very friendly to me. It was mainly critics that slammed me. I'd meet people like in Selfridges, a few of the dears, and they go, "Oh, you're so much nicer than we thought you'd be." You know, because they think I'm going to be very hard and cold, but in truth, I'm just a person.
Your records are now selling in Russia.
This is true.
But you can't get the money out.
No, you get to go to Russia to spend it, and it's all right though. It's a change that they're being released. You know, they used to just have them on black market, and the government didn't allow them to be released. It was all very decadent and Western. But they've allowed Band on the Run to be released, and it was the first rock and roll record in communist country. So we're very proud of that, breaking down the barriers, cultural barriers, east and west. Maybe the twain shall meet.
You're going to go there?
Well, there's some talk about maybe going next year. So we might end up in Moscow. Watch out.
Cliff Richard beat you to it, though, didn't he?
Cliff, well, of course, he always did, you know. Cliff beat everyone to it, really. Move it, go move. Terrific. But, yeah, he's going down a storm, Cliff. So... we're a little bit louder than Cliff, so we'll, you know, you never know what might happen.
What do you both think about this Sid Bernstein appeal to get together as Beatles again and save the lives of millions and change the lives of millions and make millions?
Well, originally Sid made an offer like about 5 years ago, just when we'd sort of broken up, and said, "Come on, lads, get back together again, and I'll give you something like $1 million or something." And at the time, everyone said, "Well, you know, it'd be a good idea if we were getting back together again, but as we're not, it doesn't mean anything really, you know." And then this other fellow in Los Angeles, Bill Sargent, made an even bigger offer of some 35 million or something. And that was about the same kind of thing, you know, well, as we're not getting together, there's not much point. So Sid's gone and topped him again now. And Sid's done an offer for it. But it's a nice idea, you know, but I say, as the group isn't going to get together, probably, it doesn't really mean much.
Is it likely to happen?
No, I don't think so. I've been saying this about 4 years now, you know, looking earnest and saying, no, I don't think so.
Do you ever believe that it would arrive at a similar situation again in your life, where you're with a band that's as big, that's the same?
No, I thought we'd be able to have a band and have a sing and a play and stuff, and maybe we could get it good, but I never thought it would sort of get big, really. But if it happens, you don't knock it, you know, as Betty Grable once said.
Is it easier to cope with the second time?
No, just as hard. But it helps probably that I've done it before, this kind of thing, you know. But you still get a bit nervous. Anything you do that's this big, you know, you've still got to go out
We're
there.
not nervous?
Well, we're not nervous, as I pointed out before, not at all. Clatter of teeth.
What more have you got to do, Paul, really?
Go to bed tonight.
In terms of achievement?
I don't know.
You've
maybe
done it twice.
A lot more songs
know,
in this
really.
boy, a lot more good ones that you haven't heard yet. A lot more good music, movies, you know, a bit of fun, good entertainment.
And, you know, there's all sorts of kind of great far-reaching aims that, you know, that the sort of peace movement that there is in the world. It's a bit boring to some people maybe, but you never know with the kind of stuff we do of sort of bringing together people from different political cultures and sort of everyone just realising everyone's really the same. I mean, we played in Zagreb and we thought that was going to be very grey and communist and stuff, and it was the best show we've ever had. They were singing along with Yesterday, all the troubles seem so far away. So, you know, maybe there could be some kind of breakthrough like that, you know, where young people kind of decide through getting to know each other through something like music that the old politics of sort of always fighting each other and killing off the young, you know, and all of this stuff. There may be something like that to come out of it. You know, I sort of got that kind of thing at the back.